What's up, Taiwan? I'm Tiffany Wong with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan and India have held their first working level meeting on opening Taiwan to Indian migrant workers. The Labor Ministry said the first phase of its plan would see 1,000 migrant workers recruited from India to work in the traditional manufacturing sector. It said workers who can speak English would be given priority. The ministry said it expects to take a year before Indian workers start arriving. A woman has been detained after attacking passengers with a knife on the Taipei metro system. New Taipei police say the woman, surnamed Wong, attacked a high school student, apparently at random, cutting his face. 4 other passengers, including an off-duty police officer, subdued her until emergency services arrived. The police officer has been awarded free travel on the metro for life. A memorial service has been held in Taipei for a Taiwanese soldier who died fighting on the front lines in Ukraine. Wu Zhongda is the second volunteer from Taiwan to have died fighting for Ukraine since Russia invaded in 2022. Canon's Karachis reports.
Here at this church in Taipei, a memorial has been held for a Taiwanese volunteer soldier who died while fighting Russian forces in Ukraine. 44-year-old Wu Zhongda was a retired veteran of Taiwan's Army Special Forces Command. Another Taiwanese volunteer who served with him told local media he died during a heavy shelling by Russia. At least 40 people have shown up to mourn his death. They lined up one by one to place flowers under a photo of Wu. And those who knew Wu shared memories of him and also told of why he chose to go to Ukraine.
我想告诉大家，阿达其实不是为了钱，他去的就是他去的，他跟我一样，他们去的就是说他们是为了自由民主，总是要付出一些代价，所以他们去帮助乌克兰人。
People here told us this was Wu's second time in Ukraine. Nancy Shi, who spent time volunteering for war efforts in Ukraine and supported Wu on his mission there, remembers one of her last interactions with him.
买珍珠奶茶的时候，排队的时候，我也拍一下，说我正在喝好喝的珍珠奶茶。阿达说我也要，我说好，阿达等你回来，我们去吃吃喝喝。阿达，这杯珍珠奶茶，我在前天我去帮你买的，然后我要帮你喝掉。我知道你喝不到，这杯我帮你喝。
Shi says one of Wu's teammates called her to tell her about his death. He told her Wu had been hit by a bomb, but they were under such strong attack, the team had to leave.
说他离开的时候还回头看了一下阿达，他说当他回头的时候，因为都是尘土，阿达的身体已经被土都盖起来，他看不到阿达在哪里。但是他们就先撤离。
Around 40 people showed up to this church to mourn his death. Wu is the second Taiwanese soldier known to have died fighting in Ukraine. In 2022, a 25-year-old soldier named Zheng Shengguang was killed in battle. Ukraine's fight against Russia has resonated with many in Taiwan as the country faces its own existential threat from an authoritarian neighbor. China claims Taiwan and has threatened to take it by force if necessary. A small number of Taiwanese people have gone to Ukraine to fight, though it's not known exactly how many. Now, people gather here to honor one of the fallen and what they say was his fight for freedom. Joseph Wu and Cadence Quaranta for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan is donating 60 ambulances, fire trucks, and rescue vehicles to Ukraine. The Taiwan Association of Community Advancement worked with private companies and local governments in Taiwan to procure the donated vehicles. The organization has delivered 140 vehicles to Ukraine since 2023, with the latest batch being the 4th round of donations. During the handover ceremony, tributes were paid to Wu Zhongda, the second Taiwanese volunteer to die fighting in Ukraine. The rescue vehicles are set to be shipped in 10 days and will be ready to be used in Ukraine in the next few months. Taipei's biggest sports and performance venue, the Taipei Dome, has finally passed a required safety inspection, avoiding a major fine. The Dome opened in October last year after more than 15 years of building work and delays. The arena should have undergone a public safety inspection within 1 year of its opening. It received a fine of around $4,000 for failing to do so on time. But it dodged larger fines of $10,000 per day until it passed the inspection. Fire and safety checks were completed at the facility, which is currently hosting the U12 Baseball World Cup. but the problem of leaking water in the dome's underground parking lot has not yet been fixed. One of Taiwan's largest national parks is hosting a concert 10 months after the area was devastated by a massive earthquake. Rick Glowett reports on how, through music and dance, the area is hoping to move on from disaster.
This is Tooo National Park on Taiwan's east coast, and for the last few months it has been eerily quiet. In April, a 7.2 magnitude quake caused widespread landslides and rockfalls, leaving most of this park inaccessible and wrecking the local tourism industry. But for today, and at this part of the park at least, laughter, song, music and dance are back as the community holds a concert.
目的就是希望说，自然环境虽然目前是关闭的状况，但是我们的人文环境还是希望大家能够来关注。
Throughout the day, local indigenous performers are being joined by some of Taiwan's biggest names, including the National Symphony Orchestra. Clean-up and reconstruction here is costing tens of millions of dollars, and it's going to be up to 7 years before the whole park can reopen. People here know there's a tough and long road ahead of them, but they say that Tooro's natural power is resilient and it will return to its original beauty. John Su and Rick Glowett in Hualien County for TaiwanPlus.
Azerbaijan has unveiled the venue for the COP29 Climate Change Summit in its capital, Baku. More than 100 world leaders are expected to gather for the UN Forum next week on tackling climate change. There has been controversy in the lead-up to the summit after advocacy group Global Witness secretly filmed Azerbaijan's COP29 chief promoting a fossil fuel deal. Similar accusations were leveled last year against the COP28 host, the United Arab Emirates.
It doesn't surprise me that conversations around new energy deals are happening. It certainly does surprise me that this is the second year in a row where a COP president has appeared to try and facilitate new deals for fossil fuel projects within and under the auspices of COP itself, the primary forum for the world coming together to discuss averting climate breakdown.
The authenticity of the video released by Global Witness has not been verified. A toxic smog is choking India and neighboring Pakistan, driving air quality in some areas to severe levels ahead of winter. The pollution is bringing a spike in respiratory illnesses and impacting schools and religious festivities. Rosie Greniger reports.
A thick haze engulfs India's capital, New Delhi. Similar scenes in Mumbai and neighbouring country Pakistan, as air pollution reaches hazardous levels, posing a serious health threat to residents.
पहले जो पोल्यूशन नहीं था तो उस वक्त आंखों में जलन नहीं थी, स्किन पे इचेस नहीं थे, लेकिन अब जो पोल्यूशन की वजह से ये सारी प्रॉब्लम आ गई हैं।
सांस की प्रॉब्लम है, आंखों में से पानी निकलता है, तो कोशिश करते हैं कि कम से कम बाहर निकला जाए, जब तक वो उसका एयर क्वालिटी कंट्रोल जो है ना वो चेक कर लिए क्या चल रहा है क्या नहीं चल रहा।
Every year when temperatures begin to drop, farmers burn their field to prepare for planting, turning the air toxic in many Indian cities. That smoke then drifts across the border to Pakistan, aggravating the situation in a region already ranked among the world's most polluted. And it's not just impacting the air quality. In Uttar Pradesh, where a religious festival is being celebrated, Hindu devotees swarmed a holy river only to find toxic foam had formed due to the smog. Some locals still ventured in to honour and offer water to the sun deity, but others wouldn't take the chance, taking aim at the government's inaction in addressing year-round pollution.
डर तो लगता है, क्या करें, पूजा है, आप सबका आपको पता है कि हमारा महापर्व यही है। गवर्नमेंट को पता है कि अगर 1 महीने पहले से यमुना जी की सफाई शुरू कर दे तो इतना प्रदूषण ना हो, इतना प्रदूषित ना हो ये, लेकिन क्या करें, वो तब भी कुछ नहीं करती है।
A frustration shared by parents, students and teachers, with the toxic air also prompting school closures across Pakistan.
आप फैक्ट्रीज को नहीं पकड़ती हैं, आप इंडस्ट्रीज को नहीं पकड़ती हैं, आप धुआं छोड़ने वाली गाड़ियों को नहीं पकड़ती हैं। इन तमाम चीज़ों के ऊपर काबू पाए बगैर तालीमी इदारों को बंद कर देना ये कोई सलूशन नहीं है। हाँ, हम ये बात भी समझते हैं कि बच्चों की जो सेहत है वो बहुत ज़रूरी है, ना सिर्फ बच्चे बल्कि बड़े भी इससे मुतासिर हो रहे हैं।
The problem is so serious, a recent report by leading energy experts found that if the pollution isn't curbed, the poor air quality could cut 5 years from the life expectancy of people in the region. Authorities in Pakistan have set up a smog war room to attempt to tackle the issue. But the annual air pollution crisis is not expected to be solved anytime soon, with the dangerous pollution levels forecast to stick around for at least the next 3 weeks. Alex Chen and Rosie Greninger for TaiwanPlus.
A unique Taiwanese production is on tour in the US. It's wowed audiences with its unlikely combination of dance and engineering. Dancing with a Robot. Taiwanese choreographer Huang has brought his long-running production, Huang and Kuka, on tour to Southern California. It's an unsettling, futuristic work that combines modern dance with AI technology. Wong has been performing the piece for over a decade, but says audiences find it ever more relevant today.
开始有 AI， 开始有机器人即将要进入我们的生活，所以大家开始去注意到这些作品。
The performance was staged at the California Institute of Technology, and some observed that the choreographer's Taiwanese roots could be felt in the challenge of programming the robot, showcasing the technological expertise that Taiwan is known for, while also showcasing the country's strong culture of creative art.
This is an example of cultural diplomacy. It's an example to our local audiences that may not be familiar with how much creativity there is in Taiwan, to get a taste of what kind of creative work is being done.
Some of the many Taiwanese Americans living in the Pasadena area also came to support Huang and his work.
As a Taiwanese American art and culture organization, we kind of aiming to have interaction with the mainstream American culture. And I think this is a perfect opportunity. I think it can bring the people, Taiwanese people, American people, community together.
After California, Huang is set to take his U.S. tour to North Carolina and Florida, bringing this unique feat of Taiwanese art and engineering to more audiences. Leon Lian and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus. For much of the last century and a half, donkeys were the go-to choice for low-income vendors carrying their wares through the streets of Karachi, Pakistan's largest city. But now inflation and urban sprawl have some wondering if these beasts of burden are here for the long haul. Bryn Thomas reports.
Like many people in Karachi's donkey cart business, Mohammed wonders if his asses are still assets. A few years back, it cost him less than $1 a day to feed his animals. Today, it costs him around free.
पहले भी यही मजदूरी कर रहे थे पहले भी तकरीबन गधा गाड़ी चला रहे थे बाकी पहले कुछ और टाइम था वहाँ सस्ता ही थी और हर चीज़ सस्ती मिलती थी.
For much of the last 150 years, donkeys were the cheapest way to haul things through Karachi's narrow streets. Coming to and from local markets, their carts were so common that they required license plates. That's all changed. A combination of inflation and urban sprawl has made donkeys less economical. At nearly 20 million people, Pakistan's largest city is 50 times more populous than it was 80 years ago. That boom has come with modern roads, making donkeys impractical. Their sellers say people still eye the animals, but after a bit of heeing and hawing, usually leave empty-handed.
हम लोग आते हैं इधर बैठ के चलाते हैं खर्चे भी हो जाते हैं बिकते नहीं दोबारा कर ले जाते हैं फिर एक हफ्ता इंतजार करते हैं उसके लिए फिर जब ये इतवार आता है उस इतवार में फिर ले आते हैं बिक गया तो बिक गया नहीं बिक गया तो उसमें ये खर्चा मेरा दोबारा चलेगा ये होता है इसमें बिक गया तो हमको 2-4 हज़ार मिल जाते हैं नहीं बिका तो उसमें एक हफ्ते का खर्चा और बढ़ेगा गधे का.
There's one donkey for every 40 people in Pakistan. And while inflation is cutting into profits, they remain the cheapest option for shipping short distances. So while some may be in favor of phasing them out, others remain stubborn.
कभी क़यामत तक ख़त्म नहीं हो रहा है 76.5 साल मैंने आपकी उम्र अपनी बताई तो अभी भी मैं मर जाऊंगा मेरा बड्डाई कोई 76.5 साल में आ जाएगा नहीं होगी ख़त्म.
So while it's clear that the donkey's heyday may be over, it will be a long time yet before they're put out to pasture. Fu Huahong and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Thanks for watching What's Up Taiwan. I'm Tiffany Wong. Take care and see you next time.